rounded, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Okay, alright.
I have not attended a single club in senior year. I basically did not have much clubs on my activity list, but then like, here's how you do it.
I will be attending USC. I'm going to Barnard College, JHU, Uchicago,
Princeton, Yale University,
Harvard, the University of Pennsylvania.
Let's talk about the activities. I have how many questions? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 questions about activities. Let me just generally brief. It's like how important the activities are, how to find internships, what extracurriculars are colleges looking for, is debate useful for getting into college?
Debate's just a corporate lie. Sorry guys.
Yeah. Like debate helps to the same level that any other activity you can get good at helps. And I think it's an exponential curve where, you know, if you're just generally doing debate as an extracurricular and you're sinking a lot of time into it, it doesn't necessarily help that much. But like if you're an underclassman right now and you think you have the potential to like get really good at debate, I think at the top level debate does help quite a lot, because every year like the people I know from other national teams at tournaments generally have good college placement. But I also feel like another reason that debate helps is because it gives you like other soft skills that are really applicable to your classes. You know, when you write an argumentative essay in class, I feel like it flows more naturally for debaters. But I think debate is sometimes like overhyped by like parents too as an activity that's just like a golden ticket to college. I don't think that that's the case.
Basically, like any extracurricular that has the potential to reach international merit will be helpful. And really, it doesn't matter what exactly you're doing, but as long as you show persistent commitment and talent in one specific subject, I think that is what colleges are looking for.
Also, don't neglect sports.
Yeah.
If you're involved in something, and especially if you've shown, say you started 9th grade and you're like JV2 or JV1 or whatever, and you show that you end up going to varsity and you're in a leadership position, like that's exactly what colleges like to see, that you're number one, well-rounded and doing athletics, and number two, you showing growth, and number three, now you're in a leadership position, and those are all good things.
Definitely like less is more. Like focus on 1 or 2 things that you're really passionate about, you genuinely want to do, and you know there's like success down the road, you know?
You have to get something that you can continue to work on year after year and keep investing time into it. And if you're not passionate about something, it's very easy to burn out super quickly. So yeah, really make sure that you choose something that you're interested in, and don't choose something just because one, you think other people have succeeded in that area and gone into colleges with it, and also, or because you see your friends doing it.
Especially the friends doing it, I feel like never force yourself into an activity just because like all your friends or you think everyone you know they're doing this activity. Like it's okay because that your friends are doing it and you're willing to try the activity, but don't force yourself to stay in that activity just because your friends are in it and you want to like have something common. If you feel like it's not your thing or you don't like it, just drop out. Like your friends, you guys are not going to be like strangers just because you're not doing the same activity as them.
If it's not something where you're like actively contributing or advancing something or really showing that you're adding something special and interesting, then colleges are more likely to view it as a not so meaningful activity.
For example, NHS. I think NHS is the most bullshit. 90% of the people there, if you're not an officer, you're not doing shit.
Okay, I just want to clarify, NHS is not a bullshit club. It is a selected group of students. You know, people work hard to get in, and they do host some really big events at schools. I don't want to undermine that. However, being a member of NHS does not add as much weight as you think it would, or it seems it does, just because so many people have it on their applications. Like, you're not special for being in NHS. But if you're able to contribute something meaningful to the community through NHS, I think that is still very valuable.
If you are a member at a club, I'm telling you, in this economy, it doesn't mean anything.
Oh yeah, being a member.
Being a member does not mean anything. Some people think, oh, all I have to do is like show up and sit there. Even if you're a member, try to do something.
Most people actually don't do anything. So
if you take initiative, you want to do things, you will be seen, and it is so I don't want to say it's super easy, but it is. There's so many opportunities for you to get leadership positions and officer positions because, in honesty, as long as you do the things that most people wouldn't do, you'll get somewhere.
I do want to clarify though, if, for example, you're a junior and next year you're not an officer of a particular club, it doesn't mean immediately drop out because of that. I think, especially if, for example, you tried to run for an officer position but like narrowly lost, or you're already contributing in like a really significant way.
The description for your activity is sometimes more important than, let's say, your title, because you can call yourself like, I don't know, the president or like co-founder or whatever, but then what matters is what you do.
I think there's a way to get around it. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Okay, alright.
I have not attended a single club in senior year. I basically did not have much clubs on my activity list. But then like, here's how you do it. For example, you're like certain projects, maybe you were able to lead it, or you have like a lot of like leadership in certain activities in the clubs, and you write that in your description. So you kind of show that the actions you take, even though you don't have a specific title, you can show that you have leadership through what you did in those clubs. So that's why participation is like really important, but make sure you actually like lead.
Also, I just want to point out, when people think of leadership positions, they really only think of 3 things, even though like it can really be found anywhere. They think of 1, community service, 2, student council, and 3, athletics. You can be a leader anywhere as long as you're willing to put the time in and dedicate yourself to your members.
And then another thing is that like you can search up college and then plus like class of 2027 or class of 2026 profile. And then like when you get there, like in that website, they give you a list of students, like the amount of students that were accepted and what kind of extracurriculars they did in college and stuff like that. So for Uchicago, for example, most kids they accept, it's like the leadership is not what they did the most. It's usually like community service or something. So for me, having a lack of leadership when I like applied to Uchicago was fine because that was not an important aspect that they look at. But for example, like Sarah said, like USC looks a lot at leadership. So my application to USC might not work. I really recommend to go look at those class profiles because it really helps you to look at like what type of students they want, what extracurriculars they really look at and they really value, and kind of like what type of students are looking for. So those like profiles are really helpful.
Wait, but I just want to clarify. It's a good reference, but I don't think that you just copy or just blindly follow the activities that they're doing.
If you're, for example, applying 4 years later and you're looking at the profiles right now, that doesn't mean the college will still be looking for the exact same people 4 years later, you know?
I think it's good when deciding which colleges you want to apply to, but you shouldn't force yourself to be someone just so that the college can accept you.
Speaking on that, I like to think of it as dating, okay? It's like you should never change yourself just to impress someone else. And that is definitely the same for college. You should never you should never do anything for college. Okay? You go to college, you pay so much tuition to go to this college so they can teach you. You're not serving the college. And if you do so much only for college, then it's like you're sacrificing so much of yourself and your life for this college, and when you don't get it, you will literally feel scammed. But if you just maintain yourself, do what you like, definitely try to improve yourself every single day, try to be better, surround yourself with better people, but don't do it for a college. If you do it for yourself, even if you don't get into a college, it's fine, because you're not, like, that's not your life, right? You'll get into a good college anyway.
Also, I think it's easier than you think to like adjust the profile you already have to like whatever general idea of like a student the college wants, rather than like build everything from scratch for a particular college like 4 years before you apply. Like for one of the schools I was applying to, I heard they liked funny people, so I just made my supplementals a bit more funny, you know? And then for like the schools that I heard like serious people, I just made them a bit more serious. But like you don't have to like 4 years ago make yourself a funny person if you're not, right? Like you can just be funny when you're applying. So honestly, just do what you like, and then it's very easy to fit what you like into, you know, more specifically what a college is looking at.
Like I know some of you guys submit questions that are like, what do I do to get in USC? What do I do to get in NYU? Like if you do that, it's not good for you because that's not going to be the only school that you apply to. Definitely don't do everything just to get into one college because like you have to remember the fact that there could be a chance that you don't get into it. And like if you only cater yourself to that one college, then maybe you don't fit like a lot of the other colleges you apply to, and that's not strategically smart.
I have a question for everyone here. When you did your activity descriptions, because they were really short, like box, did you write always full sentences, or did you?
No.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
No. I would say it's not a wise choice to use full sentences because you have character limits.
Don't waste it. It's 150 character limit.
Don't write
Yeah.
people, write PPL.
Yeah.
And international always INTL.
Yeah. If you really want to know, like, let them know the prestige, just like add a bracket and add like 1 out of 200 or something like that.
Always like quantify as much as you can.
Yeah.
For example, if you're like doing social media, like be sure like how many views did you get, like how much impact. If you're doing people, like how many people did you work with. If you're like audience member, like how many audience members. Like research, like how much
you like.
yeah, how much money did you raise, like the number. They need the number. They need as many solid things as possible.
Yeah. If you're saying like 5,000, it's better just say 5K just to
Oh yeah,
say the
never
character.
write thousands.
Yeah.
5K, 10K, 100K.
1M. Just don't add
Use
spaces.
wisely.
Just do
And
like
like,
the capital.
use hyphens. Big tip for writing essays sometimes too. If you're over word count, add hyphens to connect words.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah, guys, there are ways. There are ways.
So more generally, one thing to notice for the activities versus the word section is try not to overlap them. So for example, like some activities will lead to awards. And I think it would be best if you try to separate them as much as possible. So for example, if you write about math contests in the word section, don't list it as activities again, because not only are word counts limiting, the number of slots that you have for awards and activities are also pretty limiting. It's 10 activities and 5 awards only. So you gotta make sure that you use things well.
And there is a little bit of a danger, especially if you're already very specialized and you're super good at something, that all of your strongest activities happen to be from that subject. I would still try and add a little bit of diversity, no matter what it is, and show a little bit more of a well-roundedness to your application.
You need to be well-rounded on your activity list, but you need to have some sort of direction.
Yeah.
Like at least they can tell what kind of major that you're kind of going for.
Don't like have all your activities on maybe like bio, and then you want to do computer science in college, so you do computer science.
Yeah.
Put bio first, you can switch it.
Is
Yeah.
that what you're doing?
But also, if any of you guys do like really obscure things, I think my 2 bottom activities, they're like not that impressive. They're just kind of like interesting. It's the cooking club, and like I was a background dancer for this KFC commercial. So I
She connected food and dancing, guys.
So if you do like obscure things, do put it on the application. Like utilize your
Culinary
specialties
choreography.
that nobody else has. I guess.
Because I remember reading in a book about college admissions that every university needs an oboe player. If this university has ensembles in which they need certain instruments that are not as common as like violin, cello, piano, they are going to be looking for that, and that's why I never think you should like sell yourself short. Really, just go for it and submit something, because you never know.
Go play oboe in middle school. It's
No,
not too
it's
late
true.
to start.
Because like when you're applying, and if you make your entire app about like debate or attending science fairs or something, you're always betting that like other people applying to this college is not a better debater than you, or has a higher ISEF award than you, or something like that. But I can guarantee you that like the chances of someone being a better like KFC dancer than you is like very, very small.
Yeah.
The pool of people who are good at random small things is definitely a lot smaller.
If you can start your own projects and just like take initiative, like you don't have to fit into these systems, and just like kind of just do what you like.
Hello, this is Sarah. I would like to just apologize for the sound quality. I filmed on an iPhone and there's nothing I can do about it now. But also, I wanted to acknowledge that we don't know everything, and everything we say is just based off of our own experiences. So what is true for us might not be true for you. So if there's anything that you disagree with, or something we left out that you think is really important, or you just have more questions, definitely let us know in the comments below. And if you found it helpful, send it to your friends, help each other out, and check out the other 7 videos.
So you can kind of like give a title to yourself, because like even though you don't have even though you don't have like an official title like VP or P or like PR or whatever, right? But then you do.
I think you should shut up.
No.
Don't.
Cyber was so annoying. you press upload, and then you have to press submit, and then you have to press confirm. I was late because I was forgetting to press confirm. Teachers can have multiple best students they've seen in all their careers.
Yeah. Guys, like,
subscribe.
hit the notification. I finally understand how hard it is to be a YouTuber.